right, shalom, shalom. I would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Hawashai, Bahashim, Rakahakudash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Alright, I was a high spirit wind lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic, something of my spirit, you know, Esau breaking up our nation during slavery and the things that Jake had to endure. All right, and one of the things that Jake had to endure, all right, pursuant to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, it says that, you know, basically somebody's going to take your sons and daughter, which is one of the ultimate forms of emasculation. You know, hey, shalom, shalom. You have a child and your son or daughter sold to someone else's plantation. One of the themes, the underlying themes, Themes, one of the underlying themes of slavery is powerlessness. One of the underlying themes of slavery is that you are powerless. And one of the forms of you being powerless is you have a child, a son or a daughter, and your child or your son or daughter has to, for one, get sold to another plantation. But then your son or daughter is born on the plantation. They're born enslaved people. So your son, you literally have pictures that's Googleable, that you can Google, okay, of a 3-4-year-old in a cotton field, man. All right, and here I am, I'm driving to work. But I'm driving to work in the state of Mississippi. And if I were to go north, all right, if I were to drive north, all right, I will be driving into the Delta. Now, the Delta, also called the Flatlands, all right, is where the majority, I believe the majority of cotton picking took place. Also South Mississippi as well, such as Natchez, Mississippi. But I know in Mass, the Delta, all right, and within the Delta are a lot of people, all right, they were captive slaves. They were slaves. And you had families of Israelites, Southern Kingdom, hell, and Northern Kingdom, all right, in slavery, man. All right? But one of the most emasculating things and heartbreaking things is to have a son, have a daughter, all right, and watch them get sold to another plantation. All right, but today, you will call that child support, man. All right, the mother might have custody of the child. All right, you might have to pay child support for a child you may not even have access to, or you might have access to, and it's still a bad thing because you're paying child support for a child that you're supporting in person. Okay. That's just the point, man. It says you will have a child and another man should have your child. You have a wife and another man will lay down with your wife, man. All right? Now, it started out on a plantation where Esau, really, our wives didn't really belong to us then, because Esau was sleeping with our wives, reproducing with our wives. He would have other Israelites reproduce with our women to make super slave babies or whatever he was trying to pull off. All right? Child support is definitely a fulfillment of Baruch, the 8th chapter and the 3rd verse. We're being subject to payments. You know? Well, this is all a punishment of disobeying the laws, the rules of our God, man. And it was written in a contract called the Law of Moses. And Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, was a penalty for not obeying the laws. It was a penalty for breaking the contract. Because we got married to Yahweh Bahashai on paper. All right? We got married to Yahweh Bahashai on paper in the desert. You could call it what we had with Yahweh Bahashai went back to the garden. Because we always had oral laws. The proof on that was paying an offering to Yahweh Bahashai, all right, during the time of Adam, during the time of Cain and Abel. So there had to have been laws in place. But it was kind of like, or not kind of, it was likened to in America, you would call it a relationship. We always had a relationship with Yahweh Bahashai, but everything was made official in the desert. It was put on contract. It was put on paper, man. But it was also penalties for breaking the contract. And one of the penalties was slavery. That was the main penalty. But within slavery, you not having access to your son or daughter. But now it was child support. All right. See, if you want to understand what a conquered nation is, just study the Israelites in America, man. If you want to understand what a conquered nation is, a defeated nation, all right, because we are a defeated nation, and not just the so-called blacks, but the so-called Latino, Hispanic, and Native Americans. All right, you push on your reservations and you're powerless, man. And it's not like all these Gadites got casino money, man. A lot of Gadites are poor, man. And they eat low-grade food. They don't have access to the buffalo. It's a lot of bullshit, man. They've been pushed out of their own lands. You don't even hear about so-called Native Americans, man. Okay? But Esau pimped out the women of our nations. It's tell you your wife should be a harlot in the city, right? But if you think about a harlot in the sense of a prostitute, she sleeps with you for money. But Esau outsourced our women and turned them into harlots back towards us. Because how many women have got into relationships or marriages which really are the same? All right, she had your little ones. Then she puts you on child support, man. You know why she puts you on child support? Because she's Esau's hoe, man. She's Esau's hoe, and you're the sucker. Like how they say you're a sucker for love. And the scripture says a woman's heart is snares and nets. That's a trap. Her heart being her mind. Her mind is a snare. Her mind is a trap. And part of that trap is that child support, man. Those payments, man. That shit'll break a man. You see? Now, but the reason why that exists, because Eve, or women in general, that's Esau's hoe. And that's the reason why the average woman walks out naked or half naked. And the premises of her existence in regards to attraction is that she uses her body to attract you. Now, who else uses their body to attract you? A fucking prostitute. To get what? Money. But it's like long-term tricking. Big Boy said that in that song Players Anthem. He was talking about you picking up the kids every day or something, you paying child support because you miscalculated the pump from the last dump. Meaning you didn't pull out on time. But then he also said something like to the effect of that's tricking for life. You know, child support you tricking for life. They say paying for sex in this world they call it tricking. When you paying child support, it's trick. You know what I mean? But a lot of us, we have to pay child support. But Eve is Esau's hoe. You know? even Esau, you think Esau didn't orchestrate this in his mind? Where the scripture says that, you know, he meditate, he covered fields, you know, in the morning. Basically, for lack of better words, he wake up with schemes in his mind. And that's how I know Esau was a nigga, man. That's what niggas do. That's what Jake does. See, Jake, a nigga, Jakes that don't work 9 to 5, Jake that's not productive, they sitting there thinking of schemes. And females are like that too, little bomb-ass females. They just thinking of ways to make quick money. They don't want to make consistent, hard-working money. They don't want to make stable money. They want to make the bare minimum. They want to do the bare minimum, all right? But they're always thinking of schemes to get over on somebody, schemes to make a lick, hit a lick or whatever. And that's Esau. Esau just want to hit a lick. So the concept of child support, which is not in the scriptures, you hitting a lick, man. Esau's hitting a lick. Same thing with a speeding ticket. Show me a speeding ticket in the Bible, and you'll be going 70 into 60 and get a $200 speeding ticket. You know, a 75 into 60. But the speedometer, like this particular car, it has the capacity to go 160 miles per hour. 160 miles an hour. Now, granted, careless driving and speeding does kill. You know, careless driving and speeding does kill. But best believe that it's another one of his little rackets. Like a preacher asking for tight money or demanding tight money. Like Marvin Sapp, that fake preacher, he closed the church doors and demanded that everybody, that the church pay $40,000, man. Held everybody hostage. Same thing, man. You don't pay child support, you get held hostage, man. Penalties and all this shit. Same thing with speeding tickets. You accumulate traffic violations. Now you got a warrant for your arrest over some bullshit. Not even a real crime. You know? Everything is sourced back to money with this nigga, man. You know? But going back to being subject to payments, hey, that's a form of captivity, man. Every time, whether it's when King David conquered other nations or other nations may have conquered us, what was the thing? They conquered a nation and made them pay what? Tribute. Or tributaries. What is tribute? It's taxes, man. It's payments. Showing you that payments is a form of servitude. We got the yoke. Now it's not an iron yoke. It's no more an iron yoke. Now the yoke is payments. Even when you work a job and they tax the hell out of you, and they have the audacity to tell you how much that you've grossed, then they tell you how much you've made after Esau got his taxes, man. Show me that in the scriptures. How can you tax labor? How in the fuck can you tax labor? You know? How in the fuck can you break up a family and incentivize the woman to basically break up a family for fucking food stamps and housing, man? You see what that did to our people? Then I realized, because, you know, at this point, I don't have any children right now, right? So I was reading about different things. And I was reading about alimony and shit like that. You got to be married or have children, I think, for like 10 years to qualify for alimony. So what I'm realizing is, man, these women, especially these women that's married to celebrities, yeah, the women that's married to celebrities, they purposely have kids, 2-3 kids, and they weigh it out for about 10 years. Then run through his phone, or he got caught cheating, or come on, make up some bullshit. But really, it was the alimony hustle, man. So alimony is a hustle. Alimony is just another hustle, man. You know? you know. But the apostles have always told us, stay away from Eve. And it's not that Eve is the only race of women that does this, but she takes the trophy for it, man. But one thing you learn in the world, you learn the peep game, man, and learn how your enemy moves, man. Your enemy he's a hyper greedy entity. He's an extreme capitalist. So the nature of Esau is to make money off of everything. And the nature of Esau is everything he does has an underlying motive. And the underlying motive usually engenders profit in his pockets. So when it comes to every child support, whatever, but when it comes to you working a job, you buy a product, every industry he has is to produce money for him. Every industry he has is to produce money for him. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do for the betterment, nothing to do with the betterment of humanity or having a nation full of, you know, healthy people or nuclear families, you know. It's just to engender mass profit. Whether it's deforestation, ocean pollution. Ocean pollution is the byproduct of this nigga's greed, man. Earth pollution, throwing the ecosystem out of balance, is just the byproduct of how this man moves in the planet. You know, he has a bad exhaust system, man. He has a system in way he moves. That's why he's called a beast. He has a way that he moves in the planet that the trail he leaves behind him is a very destructive trail in the planet. He consumes en masse and he shits en masse. You know, he shits world hunger. He shits deforestation. He shits oppression. All right, you shit what you eat. He's a very greedy man. So you see the earth being defiled. It's defiled because this man is a mass consumer. He's a beast in the planet, and he consumes en masse, and he shits en masse. All right, and the poor quality that we live in today as a people, all right, on this planet, is the result of the byproduct of capitalism, the result of the byproduct of how he moves in the planet, man. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Hakodash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba, Abba, Kameshah, Shalom.